Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. This Saturday is Bellator 268. The main event is Vadim Nemkov defending his light heavyweight title against Julius Anglickas. And this fight, I'm not super excited for. It was originally supposed to be Nemkov versus Rumble Johnson. Rumble Johnson had to pull out of the fight a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and Anglickas gets the short notice replacement to fight for the light heavyweight title. I've already done a co-main event prediction for Corey Anderson versus Ryan Bader. I'll put the link in the description, and I'll also put it on the end card if you guys want to go check that out as well. But this fight, you have Vadim Nemkov. He's been in Bellator since 2017. He has not lost a fight in Bellator. The current light heavyweight champion. He's just looked good in all of his fights. And he's fought basically everyone elite that Bellator has to offer. You have some of these guys that are in Bellator that have looked good, but they're kind of fighting nobodies, similar to MVP, just got his best win of his career over Lima recently. But you look at Nemkov, and he has wins over Liam McGeary, Phil Davis, Ryan Bader, and Phil Davis again. All great wins. And I'm just disappointed because I feel like Bellator this last year has tried to put together great fights. We got robbed out of having Rumble Johnson versus Joel Romero. Unfortunately, now we're getting robbed out of Nemkov versus Rumble Johnson in this light heavyweight tournament. And, unfortunately, now he's got to fight Anglickas, who this is a lose-lose for Nemkov, really. I mean, if he wins and he looks spectacular, that's great, but you're kind of supposed to beat him. If you lose, you're losing against a guy who nobody really knows. I mean, I'm not super familiar with Anglickas. I've seen him fight. I think I was streaming the last time he fought. We'll talk about him in a second. But Nemkov has to go out there and win this fight. Otherwise, people are going to be like calling him overrated, whatever, if he somehow loses this fight. But you look at his career, I mean, he beat Phil Davis back in April of this year. That was his last fight. He finished Ryan Bader in August of last year, August of 2020. He head kicked Ryan Bader, finished him. It was a beautiful finish. And Ryan Bader, for all the shit that he gets, Ryan Bader is a good light heavyweight fighter. He belongs in the conversation of elite light heavyweight talent. I was sad when the UFC got rid of him. I actually talked about that in my co-main event prediction video, so you guys can go check that out. Another win over Phil Davis, a win over Liam McGeary via leg kicks. That was a great performance. That was all the way back in 2018. And he's just done good since he became in, and he's just performed very well since he came to Bellator. Now you look at Julius Anglickas, and again, I'm not super familiar with him. I've seen him fight. His last fight was against Gregory Millar. That was back in April of this year as well. It was a decision win where he basically took him down, kind of laid on him, landed some ground and pound, and got the decision win. The rest of the guys on his resume, I mean, he hasn't ever lost in Bellator. He's been in Bellator since 2019. He had a win on the Contender UFC Dana White Contender Series. Didn't get selected. And he's just a decision machine, really. I mean, every fight in Bellator, he's had a decision win. Jordan Young, Alexei Pelosi, Gregory Millar, which is the most recent fight. And look at some of these records of these guys that he's beaten. 2-1, 3-0, 3-1, 5-12. He has a win over a guy 5-12 back in 2018. 5-1, 6-1, 11-0, 7-0. Gets a little bit better. 12-5. So Vadim Nemkov is the toughest test of his career. I don't think, coming in short notice against a guy who's probably Bellator's best fighter, in my opinion. I'd have to put some more thought into that. But Nemkov is potentially Bellator's best fighter. And to come in on short notice when you don't have a vast majority of experience against high-level guys, this is going to be a tough fight to win. And we know what Anglickas wants to do. He wants to come in, take you down, lay on you, ground and pound. And Nemkov, if there is one weakness, it is his takedown defense. But even Ryan Bader was able to get him down, but he wasn't able to do much. And Nemkov was able to find his way back to his feet. He was able to land some good shots on the bottom. So I just really don't foresee a scenario where Anglickas takes him down and holds him down. He might get one or two takedowns. I doubt that even happens. I don't think he's the level of wrestler that Ryan Bader is. But if he does, I think Nemkov gets right back to the feet. So the way I see this fight going down, I see Nemkov really he has a vast arsenal of weapons, leg kicks, body kicks. Uses his hands very well. I think he's going to kind of pick him apart. Anglickas is going to be looking for the takedowns, and he's just not going to be able to get him. And Nemkov's going to kick the legs, just batter his movement, stuff the takedowns. Maybe he gets taken down once. Nemkov has some good elbows from the bottom as well. And I think that, Nemkov is going to eventually TKO him. I'm going to say first round TKO, honestly. Nemkov has good power. He has good head kicks. He has good power in both of his hands. And I just really think he's overall the better fighter. And I know Anglickas could surprise us, but I'm very doubtful of that. Nemkov is one of there's a few guys in Bellator which I could really see competing in the UFC at a high level. And Anglickas, he's barely in Bellator. I know that sounds crazy, but it's not like he's shown us some elite level talent. It's look at the guys that he's fought. Even when he's won against some guys that are 5-12, what does that really say to us? So maybe he can improve and fight better guys, and we can get a better gauge of his skills. But Nemkov has shown to be a straight up killer. Great leg kicks, great punches. He is good in the clinch. He's decent off of his back. It's not like he's throwing up crazy submissions and submitting guys, but it's not like he's getting obliterated on the ground by certain guys. Getting taken down by Ryan Bader, some people don't get up. And he was able to get up, and also he was able to land some short shots and elbows on the bottom while Ryan Bader was in his guard and made Ryan Bader not even want to stick around there. So I really just don't think Julius Anglickas can do that to Nemkov. Nemkov could compete in the UFC in the light heavyweight division. I don't know if he would be the champion. Somebody asked me, do you think he could compete in the UFC light heavyweight division? And I really believe he could. I think he would be probably top 8. But I don't know if he would be champion. I don't think he would ever become champion. I think he'd probably lose to some of the top guys like Rakic, Yuri, Jan Blachowicz. Probably he would lose to Glover as well. But I still think it would be competitive, and it's not like I think those guys would dominate him. So really, Nemkov is going to beat Anglickas second or first round TKO. I think he's just a better striker. Anglickas is going to be spamming the takedowns, but he's not going to be able to get them. And if he does, it's going to be very early on, and he's only going to get like one, and Nemkov is going to get right back to the feet. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure to like the video if you enjoy these prediction videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.